And welcome to another beautiful edition of the Locker Room and Voice of the People Television. I am Jerry Apelio. We've got a thrilling show for you today and it promises to be exciting as the usual suspect joins us, Ikechukwu and Maiwa, and they're ready to break down all the action and share their hot takes on what's going down in the football world. And of course, don't forget to stay tuned, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you never get to miss an episode of the Locker Room. Also, don't forget to call us via the WhatsApp number showing on your screen to join the conversation. All right, a lot happening in the exciting world of football, and quite a breaking news hitting me before I hit the studio just about some minutes ago. The legend himself, talking about Hulk Hogan. He was a wrestling legend, and of course, if not even a sport icon, definitely, he made wrestling something very interesting for a lot of us growing up back in the days. Talking about those of us who were born in the 80s and stroke 90s who understand, who know who Hulk Hogan is. I'm very sure a lot of the Gen Zs will be confused if they mention Hulk Hogan to them. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, fantastic legend he is. Of course, may so rest in peace. 71 years ahead, and heart attack for Hulk Hogan, and quite a shock. But not football news, but definitely he's a legend. He made a lot of us happy, made a lot of us smile, and many of us wanted to mimic Hulk Hogan. Yeah, and of course there was this particular celebration he brought the Hulkamania. I used to love his movies, and there was a particular celebration. He would wave his hand, and of course do the salute. Quite a fantastic man, a lovable man. He loved kids. Of course, he touched everybody with his art. He was something else. He was exceptional.
Yes, Jerry. Good evening, Jerry. Good evening to our viewers. Hogan, one of the things I always remember him for is the way he, tear his singlet.
The way he tore his.
Yeah.
He was always wearing this.
This yellow.
Easy to tear,
yeah, just.
But the expression was always interesting. It was a straight man.
And that move he does. When he's been beaten and he wants to start
fighting. You start shaking his head. As you are hitting him, he's telling you give him some more punches and so on and so forth.
This guy is the Pele, the Maradona of wrestling. He actually placed this particular entertainment where it is today. I mean, he's just that. I think he personified the art of WWE, and he made a lot of persons, a lot of audience across the world follow that particular sport entertainment, and it's one of those events where you look back and you say like you rightly said, he made a lot of us who actually watched him at some point say this guy is actually I mean there was no what would I call it? We don't have the luxury of the number of cartoons that they have, that kids these days have. What we actually were limited to this and some other cartoons like Tom and Jerry, but this guy, his particular person in this particular entertainment is something I always remember. Yes, and I also remember growing up, it doesn't matter how late it is. Some of us get whipped because
we just got to watch the fight. I think the fight he lost to Yokozuna, it was beamed live all over the world. Yeah, it was one of the biggest fights ever in wrestling.
Because of this guy, a lot of new arts came in, and people started doing their own particular move that personified them. When you see this, this is for this person. When you see this is for this person. I think he practically revolutionized the WWE, and it's a big miss for the world of wrestling.
Yeah, a big miss for the world of wrestling. I don't know whether Maiwa is now with us. I know Man United have already started confirming signings. I know Buemo is there, Cunha is there. We hear that Sesko might also join. It means that it looks like Maiwa is ready to win the title from the middle this time. Maiwa, it's great to have you join us. We're just talking about, Maiwa is not here with us, maybe he's still looking for more signings. With Fabrizio Romano said to announce more. But let's go over to football after talking about Hulk Hogan, who just passed on at 71. Desire Akparadozie, a former Super Falcons striker, is backing the team to win the 2024 or 2025, I beg your pardon, Women's African Cup of Nations title. It was actually supposed to be in 2024.
2024, yes.
He played in 2025. It happened also with the Nations Cup the last time.
Yeah.
And of course, she's already backed in the team to win the title in Morocco, and against the host team, Morocco, who are in the final. And the final match is set to take place at the Olympic Stadium in Rabat this Saturday. And the Paranose praised the Super Falcons' performance in the tournament, noting that every player has shown great skill and teamwork. She expressed confidence in the team's ability to beat Morocco and secure a record-extending 10th WAFCON title. Yeah, I saw some bits of the Morocco game. Though they're an interesting side, but like for like, head to head, against the Super Falcons, I don't think they they are close, because they're just a team that's still growing, still has a lot of more experience to conquer, but maybe home advantage. But I don't think the Super Falcons look like a team. They're already used to playing teams on their home, beating them at home. I think they're more or less more professional than the Moroccans. I think the only thing the Moroccans might do, if they can hold the game for 90 minutes and go into penalties and try their luck. But in 90 minutes duel, one-on-one, the Moroccans are going to have a lot to worry about the Super Falcons side. Yeah, they are determined. Very determined. They want to win this competition. They've been a team that have showed the greatest determination and, of course, showed the greatest quality. With all due respect, is the Super Falcons 10th WAFCON title to lose?
Yes, I want to agree that based off the quality in display, I want to believe that Super Falcons should actually easily win this one. But football is a team sport. Sometimes you might have the quality, you might have that edge, but it's going to boil down to how the team actually is prepared, and how the coach is able to actually fine-tune the team even in the midst of the game, and change pattern to actually suit you, to actually play to your strengths. So I don't know how much of because at this point really I'm yet to trust my Magudu's tactical ability, sadly. But then yes, the Super Falcons have been able to conduct business so far. Yes, again, for the Super Falcons going head-to-head with the Moroccan side, I think the reason why a lot of persons will feel it's supposed to be an outright win is because, against Ghana, they actually struggled. They won the game on penalties, and the Super Falcons actually defeated Ghana and Cameroon before the Nations Cup, and it was it was a convincing victory. So if they can actually do that against a West African powerhouse, I think they should be able to replicate it. But then again, another thing you mentioned that is very important is the fact that the Moroccans will be playing at home. And we know the North Africans and their antics, right? If the Super Falcons want to win this game, they should focus on themselves and ensure that they are thorough, because you don't miss chances. These girls might come into that game and decide to actually kill the game off from the start by just defending all through 90 minutes. And if that happens, penalty shootout is a no man's game. And if that also happens, it means that our girls will be forced to actually start looking for goals. And when they start looking for goals, they become pressured, and when they become pressured, their chance of making mistake comes, and then they get agitated. Who knows what happens next, because tackles might just start flying, and when that happens, you get booked, because of course they are playing at home. So all of these conditions, they need to really work it out. But then on the balance of skill, in terms of quality of talent, I know the Super Falcons should be able to do it, but they should be very careful, and Magudu should be at his A game, because this is the most important game of all the games he's played in this competition so far.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is the most important game, because all the work in the group stage down to the quarterfinals and the semifinals would not show results if they don't get to win those one, because this is the creme de la creme. Talking about the most important game in the WAFCON competition, and I hope the players knows what is at stake. Some of the players have been there before, the likes of
Ajibade, Oshuala
is there.
Nadoze,
Osinachi Ohale. And of course, these girls have tested the title before. So they should know what to tell the younger girls and those who are testing it for the first time, that this is what to expect. And of course, Madugo should also be able to make sure they are tactically ready, because there's going to be a lot of pressure playing against the home team in the final. And of course, we saw that against the Ghanaian side. The Moroccans were not that really fantastic, but just home advantage somehow. But the Ghanaians took them on, didn't give them any breathing space. They played them head to head, and somehow the Moroccans have found a way to get a victory. But not a decent one, but just a scrappy victory to make them see the final. Okay, and still talking about the Super Falcons, the players visited injured Bayern star Gabriela Sagado in the Casablanca hospital, showing love and sportsmanship. And Captain Rashida Tajibadi and 4 other players presented Sagado with a signed Super Falcon jersey. And Sagado was injured during South Africa's 2-1 semi-final loss to Nigeria and underwent successful surgery. She's expected to be out of action for the rest of the year. That's quite painful. That's 6 months. The visit showcases the camaraderie and goodwill between the two teams, with some readers praising the Nigerians for their sportsmanship and criticizing the article's initial error regarding the semi-final match result. Was there an issue about an article?
Yeah, I mean, there were people talking about that the Super Falcons would not have won that game if not for the injury. So they centered the victory on Sagado, and it's quite unfortunate because Super Falcons were clearly the better side in that particular game. But yes, South Africa will always be a bitter rival when it comes to football, and that's exactly why the article actually came up like that. But yeah, it's so good to see our girls actually doing
I'm trying
business.
to figure out the lady standing beside Chelle. Is she a Super Falcon?
No, I don't think she. I think she's part of the technical crew because.
Well, she looks like a white lady.
Yeah, something like that. She looks like a half caste, but it's good for me. I mean, this is so beautiful. I don't think I've seen any national team, male or female, do this anywhere. But this is so beautiful. I mean, it shows that football without violence, football, whatever happens on the field stays on the pitch, and whatever happens outside the pitch, is also should remain outside the pitch. And this is one way to actually show. I mean, for every reason, now the South Africans also will definitely be rooting behind Nigeria to actually go all the way because of this art of love. I think this is so beautiful. I'm also looking at Super Falcons winning the sportsmanship team of the year when CAF finally start giving their fair play of the fair play team award, CAF award. So this is so beautiful. Even in the FIFA awards too. These are things they look at, and this team is I mean, they're full of love, and whatever happens on the field should not go outside the pitch. But then for the article that was writing about centering the victory on Sagado, I think that's so sad. We've been defeating South Africa even years before, and nothing like or sort has happened. So even with Sagado on the pitch, yes, she's an extra leg. Yes, she's one of their most experienced players, but it won't take away the victory. The Super Falcons actually work really hard for this, and it's one of those sad moments that players go through. Injury is part of the sport, and I just hope she recovers as soon as possible.
All right, and of course, the 2 players who scored the goals for the Super Falcons were also in that picture. Quite a lot of story to that picture. Rashida Jibadi
and
Alozie. Of course, Sidwe, she was peeping, trying to be a part of it. Of course, Chiamaka considered the only goal, the penalties is also in that picture. And of course, Sagado Gabriela was talking tough ahead of this game.
Before the game,
She put a lot into this game, her heart and soul. And I think she was highly disappointed when she got injured. It showed that she put so much. She didn't mind putting her leg at risk. Eventually, she got injured, but it's pretty sad she's going to be out for a while, and that means she will not be playing the third place game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a 6 months injury. Yeah. Then we're looking at getting her back to football, perhaps maybe February. Because when they say 6 months, you can also, it means that maybe 5 months and then maybe an extra 1 or 2 months for rehabilitation. It's going to be a long process, but I just hope that she comes back and comes back strong. And the sad thing about this injury is she actually just came from a lengthy injury before this particular one, and now she's going back. It's so sad. It's so sad to see her, because when that actually happened, you see all of the players, the way they were reacting. It tells you how serious that injury was. But I mean, at least we thank God that the surgery is successful. Now it's time for her to actually start rehabilitating and go through all other process to actually come back to football.
All right, yeah, it is what it is. And of course, that takes us to the Flying Eagles, Ikechukwu's most loved, darling team. They lost in the final. It's sad that when they were doing well, proud in the competition, a lot of people didn't pay attention. I think I paid attention. I was going to talk about it. Somehow it escaped my mind that eventually they made it to the final of this competition after losing their first game And of course, you must give it to the side. And Harcourt, the goalkeeper of this side, has been one of the standout players in this competition. I think he won the MVP prior to the final. That was the game against Niger. And of course, they lost to the Ivorians, who were the best team in the tournament. They didn't lose a game. They didn't even play a draw. And I think they considered less number of goals. Of course, they lost to the better side in the competition by a goal to nil in the final. So it means like maybe Zuberi is beginning to get his act right as far as this team is concerned. But it is what it is. At least it's a tournament preparatory competition. So hopefully Zuberi would have gotten the locus of his team, knowing what is going to take ahead of the Under-20 World Cup.
Yes, Harcourt is still quite young at 15. Doing what he's doing at this stage. It's unfortunate, one of Nigeria's standard player. And sometimes it's also good that, when this sort of error comes, it should be from the standard player so that, the rest of the team will not, go bite off the head of the man who actually made the error. But then it's football. Yeah, I mean, one of those things that will definitely happen. Something must happen for a team to actually claim victory. And I like you rightly said, Ivory Coast has been a standout team for this tournament. They deserve to actually win that particular tournament. Now it's the time to actually start preparing for the World Cup fully. Now I want to believe that Zuberi actually knows his team. He actually have seen enough. He definitely should have known those who will be part of the tournament in Chile, and of course he also should know that this is exactly how I'm going to approach all games. I think he should have learned a lot of lessons going by these two tournaments that he has actually persecuted with this team. So yes, it's a good one to actually finish second. The last one was them coming missing out in the semi-finals against South Africa. Now they made it to the final. So yes, we can now say they've moved a step closer to the goal. They've shown that they've really improved from where they were coming from. Now we're looking at them in a major FIFA tournament. Let's see how far they can actually go. Perhaps it might just be the team that will go all the way to actually bring back our first ever Under-20 World Cup.
I admire your confidence anyway. For a team that's struggling on the continent and even struggled in the Waffle Week competition, going to beat the Argentinas of this world at the Under-20 level. Brazil, Holland, Spain, Spain, Spain alone. We use this team for trading material. Anyway, I like, and of course I admire your continued solidarity with this Under-20 side. It shows tenacity, of course. And anyway, I will not say a specialist in recognizing the failure sides. Anyway, the Flying Eagles anyway are preparing for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile, where they are grouped with Colombia, Saudi Arabia, and Norway. Norway is definitely going to be a difficult team. They have a good structure in terms of setup of grooming players from that very young age. So they take this competition very seriously, as well as Colombia. They will be a very tough side for this Under-20, and not to push away Saudi Arabia. They have a plan, a football setup. They are looking at the future. Let's not forget, they defeated Argentina, the senior level, at the last World Cup. So this competition will also be important to them. So the Flying Eagles will have a lot of job to do. And to say that their first game is on the 29th of September, that's less than 2 months. Just let's say 2 months from now. 2 months. And they have a very short time to prepare.
Well, like I said, I think these two tournaments is enough preparation. Maybe 1 or 2 friendlies next month in August, and then perhaps another one, finally before they actually leave the country in September. I think that should be enough, because like Zuberi actually said after the qualifiers to the World Cup, that a lot of the players will not be part of the team going to the World Cup. So we've seen, these players again. I want to believe that they actually brought in 6 other. They took out 6 players, and now we have, new set of players part of that team that actually lost that in semi-final. Now they are in the finals. They also lost. So we are also looking at other players joining them before that time. So perhaps we might see them play and the additional, like say 2, 3, even 4 friendly matches. This team might even play against some of the league side in Nigeria before they actually jet out for the tournament. So I'm still optimistic that they can actually bring their A game and get a very good rating in the World Cup. But my big problem here is how much of a tactician in Zubero at this level, because it's quite different to actually handle players at this grade. Like it's similar to the female football, right? You need a man who really understands how to actually manage people, and who is very good at actually passing information, because they're still very young. So the rate at which they take in information is not different. It's not the same as those who have actually been playing in the open category. Again, another thing is playing against a side like Norway that understands that yes, they might not have all of the big stars, but they want to actually get the very best of structure at this level. It's going to be quite difficult. Now, if we lose our first game in this particular World Cup, it's going to be a very big problem. Colombia is another team that plays like Africa. Many of our players will look similar to how we actually play. Physicality, of course, they are quite technical as well. So I just want to believe that we'll get the very best team before they actually get out of the country, because when it gets to that stage, it's going to be a very different ball game. And I want to believe also that Zubero has also learned a lot of lessons, and the boys also, many of them would have definitely seen that there's also there's an improvement, but of course, I mean, people are actually not really convinced about what they can actually bring. So at this point, the ones that they'll be adding to these ones that actually got to the finals, you will definitely know that, okay, going to this World Cup is a game of get it right and get your place in the Super Eagles national team. That's exactly what the idea of this age grade is. Just do what you have to do very well at this age under age category, and then get to be part of the Super Eagles.
All right. The last time we had the Under-20 World Cup, we actually came out with a quarterfinal finish, and hopefully we'll be able to build on that to take at least a team to the semi-final, and if not, Ikechukwu's wish of winning the title for the first time for Nigeria. An African team has won it before.
Yes, Ghana.
Ghana. So the Flying Eagles, hopefully, will be able to do it this time. All right, let's talk about the Chan Eagles, the Super Eagles themselves. Nigerian senior coach, talking about the Chelle, has asked 6 players from the final squad for the Chan tournament. The excluded players include Zayad Musa, Jide Fatokun, Ayomide Cole, Joseph Atule, Kabiru Muhammad, Anekeme Okon, and Aminu Rumau. The final 23-man squad, that's what you're seeing on your screen, features goalkeepers Henry Ozomenani, Nuruddin Badmos, and Lawal Mustafa. The team includes experienced players from Remo Stars, Rivers United, and Kwara United. The team will compete in the Chan tournament with a mix of young and experienced players, and the squad's performance will be closely watched as they aim to make a strong impression in the tournament. Yeah, taking a look at this list, quite an interesting lineup of players. Sadiq Ismaila has been doing well even for the Super Eagles 18, and of course, when taking a look at the midfielders, we're not too surprised, but I think Sikiru Alimi, of course, also making it the team A, and there's also Gordon Obaje, who's also a very interesting lad, and of course for the midfield, I'm not seeing Papa Daniel Mustafa there. Okay, I don't know, maybe he has changed his name, but with what I'm seeing here, there's nothing like Papa Daniel. Maybe he has made the move, because there are reports that he's looking for a club side. Maybe he has eventually got what he wanted. But at least with what I've seen so far, the commitment of Chelle, I believe he would have done due diligence in picking this 23-man squad.
Yes, I'm also very surprised that Jide Fatokin, who is one of the standout players for the Team B, why they were actually playing the qualifying. I don't know why he's actually not part of this 23-man list. But I mean, it is the coach's prerogative to actually choose this team. And I want to believe that this team that have actually won 3 consecutive friendly games, right, can actually do very well with his guidance going into this particular tournament. So I think I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed. Let's see what they're actually going to be bringing. For the goalkeeping department, I'm actually not surprised. I mean, the Imba goalkeeper, Henry Ozomenani, definitely would be the first choice goalkeeper. And then, the other players like Sikiru Alimi, who is very much experienced, has done so well, in the league this season. Ramos has won the league. A lot of other key players are also part of the team. So let's see what they definitely will be bringing to the team when the tournament kicks off fully. Remember, Nigeria is here to actually win this particular tournament. So we're hoping that this will be just the time. And I mean, a lot of them will want to also give their all in this particular tournament, because if they win it, that means they are, a step closer to cementing their place in the Super Eagles main team.
All right, I'm also really excited that 3 Ikorodu United players also made the cut. Ikorodu to the world, and they're going to represent Ikorodu out there at the Chan event. Of course, it's a co-hosted competition. Tanzania, alongside the Kenya and Uganda, all playing part to host the Chan, which is the first of its kind. And hopefully, it comes out with the glitz and glamour it deserves as far as the Chan competition is concerned. All right, still staying with the home front, where former Super Eagles striker Brown Ide has criticized Enyimba FC's poor welfare and inconsistent bonus payment. According to Ide, players receive as little as 7,000 naira or 8,000 naira per day during away matches, with no fixed rate or structured allowance plan. Ide also expressed frustration with the Enyimba's practice of delaying match bonuses until the end of the season, instead of paying them after each game or monthly. And of course, he noted that the bonuses are irregular and subject to arbitrary decisions by club officials. And the veteran striker called for improved standards in player welfare, criticizing the systemic issues in Nigerian club football. Idea's experience at the Enyimba has highlighted the need for better treatment in compensation for players in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Yeah, I think I'm happy that someone is now speaking, because he has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
He has played international football. Whether you don't pay him, it's not like if you don't pay him these bonuses, he's not going to eat, he's not going to survive. But someone is speaking out. I think I'm really disappointed that Enyimba will be treating their players that way in 2025. We're not talking about 98 or 99. And they should know that these players have families. Yeah, they may be paying them their monthly salaries, but those bonuses, knowing that they're entitled to it and they don't get it, it's really disappointing. It dampens the morale of players. And wherever you're working and you're finding that you're being denied what's rightfully yours. And I know some even officials might collect that money officially from the government and put it in a fixed account and be making money out of it. It's pretty sad. And so what's all about the force that Kanwanko is not part of the decision makers there? I think he should know better. He should be able to enforce a situation that these players get their bonuses, except maybe he is not a decision maker, he's just a figurehead.
Well, Jerry, the first question we will ask ourselves is, if Enyimba's case can be like this, what can be said of other teams? Yes, what can be said of other teams? In Nigerian League, we know that Enyimba is one of the big boys when it comes to doling out the cash in Nigerian League. So if a player in Enyimba is complaining, so it says more about what we see in the Nigerian League. I think it was in 2013 where someone was talking about players of Enugu Rangers, eating up and pure water. They were actually practically begging the state to actually pay their allowance. Now it's good, because the man who is actually speaking now is a man who has seen it all. He's won the Nations Cup before. He's an ex-international. He's played in Europe. He's played in different parts of the world. So I think he has the right, or he has the moral ground to actually speak, because there's nothing you're not going to tell him is because he's hungry. That's exactly why he's speaking. And there's nothing that's going to happen. The worst is that anybody is going to terminate his contract. Now, the big question we should be asking ourselves: we want our league to improve, but the most critical assets of the league, which is the players, are not well taken care of. If you don't take care of the players, how will the players give maximum results? And if they don't give maximum result, how will the league grow? And if the league doesn't grow, how will investors come? So these are the things. But then every single now and then, we sit down, we talk about the Nigerian League, we talk about what we want, but these are the little details that defines a league. I remember a couple of years ago, a guy actually traveled to, I think it was Tunisia. Yes, it was Tunisia, and he was playing in the lower division, not the main league. When he came back, because he has played in the Nigerian League before, when he came back, he was talking about the difference between the lower league in Tunisia and the Nigerian Professional Football League, how business is conducted in that part of the world. It's so terrible. We are yet to understand that football is business, and this is why I'm saying this, Jerry. Until government completely hands off, we'll continue to have this very, very terrible abuse of players and personnel. Because if a businessman who runs his business, who wants maximum results, sees that, the players are actually not giving the best results, he definitely will inquire why it's not happening, right? Enyimba actually, for the past 2 seasons, Enyimba have not been who they expected to be in the league. And now, one of the reasons is it beginning to come out. A lot of players have actually taken, the nonsense that Enyimba have been doing over the years. But this is a man who cannot take it, not because he's playing in the Nigerian league, not because he needs, not because the money is going to actually really change anything in his life. He's playing here because at this point, he's just doing it to actually wind down his career. Right. So if you cannot treat people who, the likes of Brian Day has, the clout outside Nigeria to even speak with his friends abroad and tell them about how the league is, because this is how people talk about business and business flourish, and this is how people talk down on business and business get destroyed. You don't treat people, you don't treat people like you are doing them a favor. This guy is actually working for you. These guys are actually, giving their all to actually make the league relevant, and then you're treating them like this. At this point, we need to really sit down if we really want to run a league. Because if we want to run a league, then let's sit down and tell the government to really answer. Even if it is four clubs that has the ability to actually run, a proper league system, don't owe players and get the right infrastructure. Let's start from there. Many of these leagues across the world that we see today, even in Bundesliga, how many teams play in Bundesliga? There are 18 teams. So it's not a must that we have to have 20 teams. Some leagues in Europe and other parts of the world are not even up to 20. So even if you have just little number of private individuals that can actually bring out their money and run a proper football club, let it happen. We see what the Remo Stars owner Osaname is doing, and he's doing it because he understands what it takes to actually run a proper football club. He also has a club side in Portugal, so he understands what football business is. We have a lot of persons who want to do this. Let the government sit back and let people who want to do this, who want to really earn money from it, come into the play. South Africa now is one of the dominant force in Africa when it comes to football in CAF Champions League. Who is making it happen? This is the current CAF president, Musepe. He's the chairman of the owner of Mamelodi Sundowns. So we see how a private individual is actually running his business. Let us do business the way business is supposed to be done, because all this sort of this thing is even very embarrassing. Plus, it's coming from Enyimba. Enyimba is supposed to be the image of Nigeria. They are the only clubs that have managed to actually win the CAF Champions League. They didn't even just win it once; they won it twice.
Imagine we paid 7,000 per day for feeding.
What's the 7,000 naira for
a day in 2025, and the money was
not a day. For away games.
Away games.
Yes, if they go away, if they win, that's all you get paid. We're not talking about.
They said they have been owed the one for last season, for the whole of last season.
That's exactly so. You play 19 games away, right? And you play 19 games at home. That away, 19 games, right? If you go those games, and you know how Nigerian league is, many a times you don't even get to win because it's difficult to actually win away from home, right? Yeah. So if you go there and you manage to win, you get the 8,000 naira. But that 8,000 naira is not even guaranteed. It's not even regular.
Let me just read first, if our producer can take back those picture with the illustration where it says that at Enyimba we're receiving 7K a day as feeding allowance. Sometimes 8K, sometimes 7K. It wasn't every day. Only if you had a game. So it's only when there's a game, yes, then it might even be considered. So let's say we traveled for a game in Lagos, 7K on Friday, 7K on Saturday. Then after the game, you are on your own. And the worst part is we don't receive match bonuses weekly or monthly, and we receive it at the end of the season. Wow, pretty sad.
So tell me how you want these guys to actually give their best when they don't they're not eating well, they don't take the right vitamins. Come on, this is a very terrible working condition.
Someone even accused him of you already have money, why are you asking? And of course it trended as well, and he replied at those who said, because I get money I should not ask for the one I work for. Please pay me and the players last season match bonuses. Even tagged the club side's X handle at Enyimba FC. The season ended in May. Till now, nothing. New season will start next month. This is August already. So that's it up there. maybe because no be your friend or brother did this situation, so you can be typing BS. This player deserves the best, but they are living like jobless men. Some of them have wife, kids, and family to take care of. Do you even know what it takes to travel from Aba to Kano by road and play a game the next day? I guess you have no idea. Yeah, I think I wouldn't want to put myself in such a situation. I better go into another job where I will be stressing myself a day to a game, traveling by road. Imagine the blood pressure of these players.
The insecurity, the fatigue that comes with traveling that long trip. And you expect them to go to continent and give the best result. No. You still don't pay them well. No, they are underfed. I mean, come on.
Totally unacceptable.
Jerry, I remember. I think it was around between 2012, around that era. There's this player union in La Liga that actually, complained, and this complaint actually started from a couple of players in Valencia who, Valencia were unable to actually really meet payments for their club side, for their players. And the player actually rose, and it almost closed La Liga for that season. Right. So we do not even have player union in that can actually stand, for the players to actually speak.
We have player unions who are interested in
Jerry, I'll tell you this: if you bring Nigerian league players, of course, a lot of them will not want to speak because of the repercussion. Only people like Brown there who want to come out and speak because there's nothing to lose, right? Even Ahmed Musa may also want to talk, but a good number of them, they tell you the horror, that goes behind, what we actually see on the field. And these guys still come out to fight for all balls to ensure that they win games. Come on, Jerry, it's really, really sad. See, at this point, there's nothing anyone will say. I will never look down on any Nigerian player, even when they go to continent and lose, because this is a very terrible thing to witness as a player.
All right. Very terrible, I must admit. Yeah, and I want to call on the management of the Imba FC. Pay these players their money. They deserve it. They've worked hard for it. And of course, pay them their money. And to other club sides in the NPFL, pay these players. Just give them what they deserve. Treat them well. Treat them like your kids. And of course, your family. These guys have worked. You don't even need to be friendly with them. Just pay them what you owe them, so that at least our league will be better off for it. Don't sit on top of this money. Sometimes this money is even available, but somebody wants to eat everything. Don't be greedy. Try as much as possible to be your brother's keeper. Anyway, let's go over to clients where things are done properly. Imagine they are owing Darwin Nunes, or let me say they are owing Casemiro, or they are owing Casemiro. Even if it's all the nonsense that Casemiro is doing, they are still paying him. Imagine, even if he doesn't play for the next 6 months, Man United cannot try it to owe him his money. Imagine Darwin Nunes, with all the thing he has been playing, they now owe him 1 week.
Jerry,
I'm telling you to go viral.
Jerry, not about even going viral. The thing is,
they
are in a country where law
they will sue them quietly
easily, and Liverpool, in fact, the club side will pay more than
damages, and he will still play for the club side till his contract ends.
And apart from the law finding that particular club side, the league will also find the club side. In fact, that club side might even end up getting relegated or disbanded.
Points deducted.
You cannot even try. But here, I mean, they know that, whatever it is, they will tell you. They will even be the one to tell you to go to court.
So you have mind.
They will tell you to go to court.
So you have mind.
You go to court.
It's not we will pay your salary. Don't worry. This one, 10 years, we will be dragging this matter in court. They don't mind. They don't mind spending all that money in court.
They will tell you to go to court. Yeah. Go to court. Because they know that at the end of the day, that is exactly where they want to spend their money. It's so sad.
Pretty sad. Pretty sad. Anyway, let's talk about Hugo Ekitike, linked up with his new Liverpool teammate for the first time today after completing a £79 million switch to Anfield. Look at the boy, fresh like today bread. The 23-year-old striker who signed from Eintracht Frankfurt on a 6-year deal on Wednesday jetted to Hong Kong to join Liverpool's preseason tour of the Far East. Yeah, the guy is eager to prove himself. And of course, he's a fantastic player. I like the fact that he has this height advantage. He's tall, lanky. Of course, his stats are very interesting. Hopefully, he'll be a good signing for Liverpool?
Well, I mean, going by what he's actually shown, last season, I think he's actually a player that fits the Liverpool style of play. He's actually good at pressing, and Liverpool's attackers are, known to actually do that very well. Or perhaps Liverpool as a team like to actually really press. We saw that last season. And then what is definitely going to be bringing different from what Darwin Núñez gave Liverpool is perhaps
let's just forget
how much he can actually finish. But then it's going to be a long season. Let's get to see what he's going to bring to Liverpool next season. I mean, the Premier League is a different terrain for him. He just left Germany now. He came from France. He actually did a very good business in Germany. That's exactly why Liverpool acquired the service, which the huge fee. But I think he is a player who is decent. He's not been in the news for any wrong reason. So now joining Liverpool side, I want to believe that he's going to actually do a very good job for them. But it does not mean that Liverpool will end up winning the league.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they'll win the league. Even when they didn't sign the player last season, only signing KSR, it does not mean that they will not even talk about winning the league. So I think they paid their dues, and it's now time they are spending money in buying players. And of course, given the quick turnaround, it is unlikely Ekitike will feature during Liverpool's pre-season friendly against AC Milan. That's on Saturday, with Darwin Núñez having netted a hat-trick during the Reds' 5-0 win over Stoke City before leaving the UK. Liverpool's official X account shared footage of the Frenchman. You don't know, he knows that he has competition coming. He's not scoring hat-trick. He should keep the hat-trick for his training room. We don't need it now. Ekitike is here. And it looks like Liverpool is not stopping there. There's news that they are still going for Alexander Isak. I don't know. Anyway, if you take a look at that Liverpool's defense attack, Darwin Núñez is still on the verge of leaving, and Jota just passed on, and so they definitely need two attackers, if you ask me. And of course, adding Isak.
So it goes back to what I was asking you, that why didn't Liverpool man this pressure on Osimhen to actually get him?
Yeah, I think Osimhen's situation is a different one.
What makes it different?
I've told
At least, how old is Isak? How old is Isak?
Isak is 24, 25. Yeah.
So what's the difference between a 25 and 26-year-old?
It's the years it takes for him to become 30 and
Jerry.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Jerry, leave this thing.
And his wages are going to be higher than Isak.
If you bring a conversation like the wages, we can talk.
The wages is cheaper.
But not about the years.
The wages is cheaper, and the fact that he has Premier League experience. Yeah, wages are cheaper.
So Isak is better for Liverpool.
Isak he has proven himself in the Premier League, and he's cheaper.
He's better now.
And he has longer lifespan in terms of age.
Jerry, 2 years is not.
It's a lot.
It's
2
not.
years is a lot in football.
Jerry, it's not.
2 years is a lot.
2 years is considered the same age bracket because you can play the same tournament. Yes, now you can play under 20. Yes.
You can play the same tournament.
Yes, so you are in the same category.
In 5 years' time, are you guys going to play in the same tournament?
Jerry, if you play under 20, under 17 together, you can also play under 20 together. You are in the same category.
You know that Adib Bain, Mohamed Salah was 28 as last season. Going into last season, he would have waited till the season was almost over for renewing his contract. It's a Liverpool thing. It's not. Every other club may have their policy, but
it's a Liverpool thing not to sign Osimhen.
No, looking at his age and the money involved and the controversy.
There is 26.
No, let's now look at
and 25.
The thing is that apart from that, Osimhen's contract a lot of controversy.
What's the controversy? See, the only issue with Osimhen's contract is Napoli does not want him to remain in Italy. The price tag is already known.
No, there's a lot of controversy.
How much are you buying?
And the fact that Osimhen already has a history with his managers and so on.
Now you are coming.
A lot of things around him. And you know that if you notice, Liverpool always try to look for players who doesn't have any controversy around them. And I think the baggage would be too much with Osimhen. And of course, we don't want that. Anyway, better luck. Isak, I know why you were worried. You have Mbeumo, you have Kuna, and Sesko is coming. So I wish you guys all the best. Big thanks to all the guys who made the show great. Unfortunately, Maiwa could not join us. Big thanks to Ikechukwu for being a part of the show. And big thanks to the likes of Victor, Alex, and as well as Paul and Hassan. My name is Jerry Apelo. I say thanks for being a part of the show. And to meet again, stay safe. And if not anything at all, do it the sport way.